While China and Kenya are deepening their trade relationship, the East African nation is to export various agricultural products to China. Kenya will be exporting food, plant and animal products. China is the country's biggest trade partner. The deal was reached after a week of negotiations on sanitary measures. Both countries also launched a technical team to discuss further trade expansion. We're going to continue this discussion on the importance of this expo with Edward Kusewa, who is an economist from St. Paul University here in Kenya. Thank you very much for joining us, Edward. Yeah. China insists that multilateralism is the way to go to grow the economy, the global economy. And this recent expo shows China's commitment to this. But do you think this can be achieved in view of the fact that the United States is following a different path, i.e. unilateralism?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the issue of inclusive globalization and economic globalization is something that China is really fighting for, so that many countries can participate in global trade. I mean, we have seen that in the past there has been a lot of protectionism and tariffs that have been imposed by principal traders of the past. But with multilateralism that China is fighting for, it means that more countries can participate in global trade and help global trade move further.
Okay, let's turn to China as a trading partner for Africa. There were a high number of African businesses showcasing their work, as we know, as we heard from Rama earlier. What would you say makes China an attractive trading partner?
I think African exporters have now diversified their export market from their traditional markets, that was European Union and the United States. I mean, China is less regulated as compared to some of these European markets, and therefore it offers a new opportunity for African exporters trading with China and developing new trade relationships that were not there in the past. I mean, China is easy to trade with as compared with some of these European countries.
Okay, and let's talk about China being the second largest economy, worth about 14 billion US dollars, and that's an increase of more than 2 trillion in comparison to 2017. With its approach to multilateralism, how important would you say good governance and political will is in building this growing economy?
I mean, there have been trade imbalances in the past, and we have seen this out of what has happened through the tariffs that have been imposed by the principal trader, that is the United States. Trade integrity is very important for countries to move on and for trade to move on and for global trade to move on. So I think political will and governance is something that China will have to look at its internal, in the way it operates internally and the way it's able to look at international trade moving forward. I think for political will and governance, the whole global community needs to see whether their trade imbalances are reduced and whether those tariffs that have been imposed in the past are being reduced so that we can have global trade integrity moving forward.
Okay, thank you very much for your analysis. That was Edward